This is the most optimal Game Week 5 wildcard draft you will ever see. As you can see, I'm going to prepare a very good wildcard team for you guys that you can use your wildcard in Game Week 5. And in my opinion, using the wildcard in Game Week 5 is not such a bad option because you are very well suited to prepare for basically the same teams that are going to have good matchups after Game Week 9, when is the most popular time to wildcard in my opinion. So yeah, Game Week 5 looks like a very solid second option, and I'm highly considering doing and pressing the wildcard button. As you can see, I've opted to build a draft that is well under the 100 million, so you have money in the bank no matter what team you own and which players. I don't see this team is going to be an issue anyway to build it or to use the money. You most probably have several of those players, so the price rises that they've got are not going to affect your budget. So I believe it's going to be a very good draft for you. In goal, I'm opting for two very solid goalkeepers. I'm opting for Flecken to be my starting goalkeeper, 4.5 keeper. I'm going to play him in every week. I'm not going to rotate goalkeepers because I rotated goalkeepers so far during the season and it's not been so good for me. Turner got points when I least expected and Pickford didn't get points when I expected him to get them. So yeah, if I wildcard, I'm not going to play the rotational game. I know Turner has a game against Burnley this week and Flecken has a game against Newcastle, but I believe that Flecken can rack up some save points, and even if it's better to own Turner to start him, I will not do it if I were you, if I was hitting. Basically, this will be my draft if I press the wildcard chip, and maybe some tweakering will happen. I have some players that I need and some that I want. I will try to integrate them, but I will prepare a wildcard selection or a team selection depending on what I decide to do with my team. But for now, let's discuss the goalkeepers. In my opinion, Brentford are one of the better sides this season, and those 4 weeks show them to be a very good side. They're playing very well, and their goalkeeper's position is not an issue anymore, because I believe that Flecken is not going to be suitable to replace Raya, but he's doing pretty fine. He is racking up some save points, some bonus points here and there. It's nowhere near the Fulham's goalkeeper Leno returns us from save points or from bonus points, but I believe that Brentford in general are just a better defense, and Leno may rack up some save points here and there, but they will concede a lot of goals. On the other hand, Flecken, even though when they have a strong opposition against them, they will make the defense tighter and they may keep clean sheets in fixtures that you don't expect them. So yeah, that's why I'm opting for Flecken, and he's making some good saves right now. He made a double save that is nominated to win the save of the month. So yeah, he's making some flashy saves. He's doing very good the beginners things, to say he's catching the ball, distributing the ball. I'm very delighted, and he's only 4.5, and yeah, you cannot go any wrong with that price. I know that if you have the money, you may opt for Pope, who has a good swing of fixtures. Maybe Amy Martinez is a good option. Vicario from Spurs is doing well, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on my goalkeeper's position, and Flecken fits the bill perfectly. Turner, it was Turner against Areola, but Turner is just 0.1 cheaper, and that's why I'm opting for him. He is not going to play regularly in my side. He is only there for injuries and when Flecken blanks in game week 17 or 18. But yeah, Areola is another option, but if I match the fixtures in game week where the Brentford blank, I believe that Turner is having the better fixture compared to Areola. I know that Turner is not nailed, but with the performances he is putting in, I don't see him being benched soon, and rather even late I don't see him to be benched. Another option here, as I mentioned, is Areola, but I just don't find a way to put in my West Ham goalkeeper to play, and he'll be on my bench, and I will maybe try to integrate more West Ham players because they have a good swing of fixtures. Why I'm not going to stack up on Nottingham Forest players for sure. That's why Turner is there. He is a playing option, maybe even slight rotation risk, but I don't think so that is going to be such a big rotation risk. And he is 4.0 and he's already in my side, so I don't have to transfer him out even on the wild card, and I'm not going to lose money on him, and he's playing very well. Options like Ederson and Alisson are good because Ederson is keeping a lot of clean sheets here and there. most of the time, and Alisson is making some good saves, but they're too expensive for my liking. And for me, Flecken, it was Flecken versus Leno, but I believe that Fulham are not good defensively. They've put a lot of bad numbers on the defensive side, and I believe that Flecken will overturn Leno as the better goalkeeper points-wise, and that's why I'm opting for Flecken. I didn't have any luck with the goalkeepers. I'm owning Pickford, who is the worst performing goalkeeper, I think. But yeah, Flecken for me is going to change that, and for such a low price, it's points at the end of the day, and as many points from saves and clean sheets as possible, they're welcome, but I'm not very stressed of my choosing of goalkeeper. I think I've made the right decision with Flecken, and I'm going to stick with it. In defense, as you can see, there are not a lot of big changes happening to my starting players for sure, but there are some changes because they are required to be happening. I'll start with the guys that were in my side before. It's Kabore for 4.0. I know he was benched, but he's playing well when he's on the field, and I believe that he's going to do okay, especially when there is a double game week in game week 7. If he is playing both of the games, it's a away fixture to Everton, a home fixture to Burnley. It cannot get any better for Wootton, so I will be having a problem putting playing defense in game week 7 with those defenders. So having Kabore pick that is going to be playing good in defense and having a double up against green fixtures teams, I believe it's going to be okay. Chilwell, even though Chelsea are not playing very well, he is staying in the side for now. They have an okay fixture run. He is as attacking as you get for a defender right now in the Prem. He is nailed. He is the captain in the absence of Reece James, and I don't see any issue of keeping him up until game week 9. And then I'm going to sell him for someone else that is going to perform well, because for that price, I don't think that fixture run is going to be worth it for Chelsea. Maybe they are good on the counter-attacks. We have to see. There is a fixture against Aston Villa in game week 6, where Aston Villa is more attacking, and we'll see how they perform against more attacking sides. But against more defensive sides, they are not very well performing, but it's still an opportunity for him to keep a clean sheet. So yeah, if he gets a return here or there, attacking return, it's good, but it's not required. That's why he's staying aside. I have a lot of value in him, 0.3 rise since the start of the game, and if I am wildcarding, I'm not getting rid of Chilwell right now for okayish fixtures defensively and offensively. I believe that he is going to stay where he is. And the last guy that remains from my last defense is Stupinian. I know many of you will think that I'm crazy because in game week 5 he has Manchester United, in game week 7 Aston Villa, game week 8 is for Liverpool, and game week 9 is for Manchester City. Only game week 6 is good for him, but if I'm keeping and clicking the wildcard button, Estupinian is going to play against United for sure. United on the left side of the right side of their attack on the Manchester United are not very good. Anthony is having issues right now. Sancho is having some issues, so it's going to be Rashford or Garancho most probably. But I don't find a very tough fixture for the left side of the defense for Brighton. So that means that he will get even more offensively, and he will double up with Mitoma or with Ansu Fati, whoever plays on that left wing position. But anyways, United's defense is in shambles now. Varane is injured. Luke Shaw is injured. Maybe Lindelof got an injury. We have to see that. And it's Maguire and Johnny Evans playing, so I don't see Manchester United keeping a clean sheet. And Estupinian is so attacking that you can expect an attacking return from him, so in game week 5 he's staying. In game week 6 it's a fixture against Bournemouth, so he's staying there as well. And in game week 7, even though it's Aston Villa, I see no issue playing Estupinian, especially against Villa, who are leaky against the better opponents such as Newcastle and Liverpool, especially on that left side. Estupinian, Mitoma and most probably João Pedro, if he keeps that triangle on, will destroy a lot of the teams there, and Estupiñán is staying in game week 8 and 9. There are a lot of fixtures up until then, so I'm not deciding right now for my team for game week 8 and 8 if I'm wildcarding. I'm focusing on the next fixtures, and in game week 8 and 9 I can bench Estupiñán, and after that it's another green run of fixtures for Brighton, and Estupiñán will be a very huge part of that lineup for sure. And now for the changes, I replaced Henry with Flecken in goal, so I'm not opting for a double up from Brentford's defense, and that means that I'm opting for Mitchell. Mitchell is a pretty interesting pick in my opinion because he has an okay fixture run up until game week 10. There are some fixtures where he's supposed to be benched, but when he's benched, I can opt for Kabore in game week 7 or for Estupiñán, Chilwell and Doji in game week 5. In game week 6, he has an okay fixture run. And in game week 8 he has an okay fixture, so I'm going to be using him whenever Estupiñán or Udogie has to be benched or something like that. So Chilwell fits that, not Chilwell, Mitchell fits that bill perfectly. And after game week 10, I believe, it's a green run of fixtures for Crystal Palace, so I'm even set for the future. They're looking alright. 1-0 victories for them are going to be a pretty common thing, so a bonus point is maybe on the horizon for him. He's looking okay attacking wise, and I believe that he is a very good option, at least in my opinion. And the last player here that I'm opting for is Udogie. I see him as a pick that I underappreciated from the start. He's doing very well. He has attacking returns in 2 of the games, and he has kept 2 clean sheets, I believe. And that's a pretty good number compared to the rest of the sides. No team has kept more than 2 clean sheets, I believe. And he's one of the 2 teams, maybe only City and Spurs kept 2 clean sheets. I'm not completely sure, but on back of my mind are only those 2 teams. And yeah, Udogie is a very nailed player. No European fixtures. They're out of Carabao Cup. I don't see him being rotated. He's going to be well rested when he is having an off midweek. So yeah, I believe that Udogie is perfectly fine. I know game week 6 and 7 are hard for him, but he's going to stay on my bench for 4.7. I'm not pretty distraught of benching him, and even if I have to play him, it's an attacking side for Spurs, so yeah, I don't care if they concede some goals here and there. His attacking potential is very high, and he's going to be playing. 4.7 once again, a lot of attacking returns. He is a very good option. I opted for Rico Henry for my 4th defender on the bench, and I was mistaken because Udogie is just better in the easier fixtures. He's so attacking, he's just passing it to Maddison, and he's doing all the job for the rest of the attack. So yeah, Udogie is going to be picked if I click the wildcard button. Here I have a pretty obvious submission. It's a Newcastle defender. First of all, I don't think that I'll be buying Trippier. I believe that with Champions League starting, there's going to be some rotation, and Livramento is going to play some minutes in the Prem, especially in the easier fixtures. They bought Livramento to play. He is too good to be benched every game week and every game basically, and Newcastle are in such a hard UCL group that I don't see them putting so much effort in the Prem. And I'm not opting for a 6.5 defender that is not going to be nailed, and they are not going to put so much effort. The other options are Schär and Botman. I am discussing both of them because I like them both. I like Schär more because he is more attacking. He is shooting outside of the box. He is a more danger in the box when they have a set piece, so I'm taking a look at him. But I want to see them improving because they have conceded in every game basically, and they only have 3 points. I want them to start picking up some points, and maybe around game week 7 or 8, when Chilwell is bound to leave my team, I opt for Schär or Botman. But now I need to see Botman that he is fit. I want to see some improvement from them, how they will rotate in the Champions League. That's why I'm staying away from Newcastle defenders right now. The other obvious submission here is a City defender, but I don't see a very attacking potential from the City defenders. Maybe Kyle Walker from time to time when he plays as a right wing basically, but he is not nailed, especially with Ake, Akanji, Diaz, Gvardiol, Stones, Walker, Rico Willis and Gomez in contention that are 9 people, and they're playing basically with 3 at the back. So yeah, I'm not risking it for the City defenders. If I'm opting for a defender, it's going to be Ederson, but I'm not opting for a defender from City. Maybe Ruben Dias is an option, but I prefer the wing backs, and those are hell of an attacking wing backs. Mati Cash is another omission from my side, but I don't see Villa's fixtures being good rotation-wise. Maybe from game week 8 onwards I will bring him in. Maybe I will replace Cabore or someone else, and I will have a playing player in game week 8, whereas Stupinian is on the bench. I will see how it's going to go. But for now, those 5 defenders make the team. Newcastle defenders on my watch list for sure, because Brentford are going to score against Newcastle, in my opinion. And after that, maybe they'll keep several clean sheets, but I need to see improvements before I bring them to my side, especially for a center back. And I mean, they're for 4 game weeks, only 2 teams have kept 2 clean sheets, so there are not a lot of clean sheets here and there. And the only good thing about defenses and defenders is when they're attacking, and those 5 defenders are very attacking for sure. And I believe there is a slight potential of a clean sheet in the other fixtures, and a lot of attacking potential in both hard and easy fixtures. So yeah, I am opting for those 5 defenders if I'm on a wildcard team. I have to maybe make some iterations if I want to fit someone more expensive in my midfield, like Salah, because I'm not opting for Salah. You'll see in a minute. But yeah, I will speak about that in a minute in the midfielders portion. But yeah, those 5 defenders, write down in the comment section if you believe those defenders are pretty solid. If I'm missing someone, is it a risk going without a Newcastle defender, or is it a good decision to wait and see? I want to hear your opinion. And now let's jump to the midfielders selection. Maybe in defense there weren't a lot of changes, but in midfield there are a lot of crucial ones. I will be starting with the guys that I'm going to keep. The first guy is Saka. I cannot nail the best performing Arsenal player whatever I do. It's 1 week Saka, next week is Martinelli, after that is Odegaard, then it's Saka, then it's Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, then it's Saka several weeks in a row. They will just keep doing that, and I want to get the points, and I'm getting the points from Saka. He is most probably their penalty taker. He is most nailed from all of their attack. With Gabriel Jesus back, he's going to play more attacking wise, with Zinchenko playing on the left side and going into midfield. White is overlapping Saka, so now Saka is going to be more attacking wise. They just won against Manchester United, and I believe that he did alright in that game, so he is not going nowhere basically. He's staying in the side. The second guy that's keeping his place is Raheem Sterling. Even though Chelsea are not performing up to their expected level, Sterling is. Sterling is playing very good ball. He's attacking. He is joining the attack very fast. He's getting released from those chances. He's distributing the ball. He's scoring some goals. And I believe that Sterling is the best attacking option from Chelsea compared to Jackson, I was so pissed, and if I click the wildcard, Jackson is seeing nothing from my team anymore for the foreseeable future. But Sterling is staying in the side. He gave a good game against West Ham, a good game against Nottingham Forest, a very good game against Luton. So those easier fixtures are good for him, and after the fixtures turn for the worse, I'll just swap him for someone better, like with better fixtures like Diaby, Mitoma, Ward-Prowse is an option, Eze is an option that's missing right now from my side. I have a lot of options. And now we are getting into the differential things. I am staying away from Manchester United players. They just cannot get things right. They have issues with the squad. They have injured players. They're having some shenanigans happening. They're not performing up to par, and they're back into the Champions League after the break, and they're still playing in the Carabao Cup. So those are fixtures where they will need to perform, and when they need to perform, maybe they will do, but I don't know when someone is going to get rotated. With Amrabat now into the side, Eriksen is out of the side most probably, and with Eriksen maybe rotated with Bruno for a little bit to just keep Bruno fresh for the upcoming fixtures, because they're happening in 3 days and they're just not very prepared for that. Rashford is not acting up to par yet. He scored a goal against Arsenal, but he missed several chances, so I'm staying away from those players. And Phil Foden, he's just not so involved that I was expected. Not on the wing, not in midfield. He was playing good ball against Newcastle, but Newcastle are just more attacking that they are going to face this season, and I don't like that. And now with Mateus Cunha, Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, Doku is an option, so 4 options for that wingers position. Alvarez, Kovacic, Foden are now options for the midfield. Maybe they will opt for Cunha in the midfield. We have to see, but I believe that Alvarez is more nailed than Foden, so that's why they left the side. And I'm bringing in the Spurs players, regardless of the fixtures. They're playing good ball and they're scoring a lot of goals. They scored more than 2 goals in every game week so far, which is amazing. They haven't lost a game yet, which is another amazing thing. Yeah, they were leveled against Brentford, which is okay, but they won the next 3 games and they won them convincingly, especially the game against Burnley where Son scored 3 goals, and I believe Son, if he plays a striker, is going to be a gem. I'm a little bit worried that Son may be on the left and Solomon is going to be benched and Richarlison will need to play, but most of the times maybe Son will play as a striker, we have to see, but I'm willing to risk it. And Maddison, I made a mistake not going for Maddison. I went for Sterling and for Foden when I should have went for Maddison, and it would have been the better decision overall. But we learn from our mistakes, and I'm just putting Maddison into my side. And the final player I'm integrating into my side is Mbeumo. I was having him for maybe 2 days before the deadline in game week 1, and then I decided to drop him and decided to do some Manchester United things, and then Mbeumo was dropped. I like him as a player. I think that he's up to par to replace Ivan Toney right now. He's taking very good penalties, so he's most probably learning from Toney how to execute those penalties. He's becoming a talisman of a player. When they play against a stronger side, which Newcastle is a stronger side, he's playing as a striker. He's a 90 plus minutes guy. He scored 2 goals after the 90th minute, so he's getting those points laid on, and I need a nailed player who is staying on the field for the whole duration of the game, and Mbeumo is such a player. Here there are several omissions that are maybe too obvious for you. First of all, I'm not owning an Aston Villa midfielder called Diaby. I'm not owning Eze, but I believe Mbeumo is just better than the 2 of them, and I see those 4 players just better. Salah or Diaz from Liverpool are not in the side, which is a mistake in my opinion. I will try to integrate at least one of them, but I see very little things that I can sacrifice from. Maybe Son will have to drop for one of them. I will have to think about it. I have no Manchester United player, but it's not an issue for me right now. No second Arsenal midfielder, so I'm only opting for the most owned player, but it's the game and we have to adapt to it. Maybe if I'm wrong, I can quickly integrate someone instead of Sterling or Son or Maddison or even Mbeumo, but for now I'm just opting for Saka because I don't need rotation. I don't need players that are going to be rotated. I need solid players here in my midfield. Maybe in attack I will adapt a little bit. You have to see in a minute, but for now they're staying here. I have no Manchester City midfielder. There is a bunch of them, but I do not care about them right now because the forwards are the ones that are doing the bits and the midfielders that are going to do some damage, and the midfield player that is doing it is Rodri, and I'm not opting for Rodri. I have a lot of money compared to last and previous seasons, so I'm opting for the strongest midfield possible. Am I missing someone from Chelsea? No. Maybe from Nottingham there is a forward that is an interesting guy. From Brighton, I'm missing players, sorry, yeah, but Brighton are having a little bit of worse of a fixture run. They're starting Europe, they have a lot of players that can rotate in their side, so I need to see how they perform in Europe, how they rotate players around Europe. That's why I'm waiting for View as well. Basically, the only player from Europe that I'm risking on is Estupiñán, but he's having bad fixtures, so if he's not playing, I can just opt for someone else, and it's not an issue. But the other guys are, for, in my opinion, 90 minutes nailed, and I need them to be that because I need the points and I need a strong performance from my players. I am trying to integrate a Liverpool player for sure because they have two okayish fixtures, and after that Liverpool can score against basically anyone, and I don't see them focusing too much on Europe this year. I believe that Darwin Núñez and Jota and even Ben Doak are going to play most of the minutes in Europe. Maybe Harvey Elliott is going to get some playing time there. Young midfield will be deployed. Maybe Barjetic and Curtis Jones. Maybe Thiago is going to return there. They have a lot of players to rotate. The defense is a little bit weak right now with Van Dijk suspension and Trent injury. Konate is set to return from injury, but they have Tsimikas, they have some young boys that can cover up. Alisson is pretty solid, but yeah, I need Luis Diaz or Mohamed Salah. But if I'm pressing that wildcard button, I will try to find better ground to fit in someone, maybe instead of Son, because Maddison is just more reliable, and I want to keep Maddison for maybe up until he's injured or suspended or something like that, because he's doing very, very well. And for now, this team looks pretty solid in my opinion, midfield and defensive wise. I need to show you the fourth line, and without further ado, let's go and see it. If you find my content reliable and relative for your case, please subscribe to the channel. All of your help is much appreciated. I'm aiming for that 1000 subscribers landmark. Please help me do it. Like the video if you enjoyed such type of content. Write your comments if you want to discuss something. I will be open for discussion with anyone. I'm answering everything in the comment section, so feel free to comment whatever you like. But now let's focus on the fourth line. Haaland, we don't have to discuss Haaland. I believe that anyone knows that I'm owning Haaland and you should own Haaland. He's scoring goals for fun, so don't risk it going without him. You will miss a lot of points. The other two players are pretty interesting ones. Alvarez, 6.7 million right now. He is going to get more expensive as time goes, and for the next two fixtures he is staying in my side for sure. If I wildcard, I am going away from Jackson. I'm not picking Kawoni because they have Chris Wu, they have Origi right now, and it's going to be a bunch of rotation in my opinion. I'm not picking a Newcastle player for the obvious reasons that I don't know who is going to play in their attack. Brighton is the same case. I'm not picking any of them. I don't believe that Darwin is going to be nailed for the foreseeable future. I don't like Raul Jimenez. I don't see anyone up to par from the Spurs attack who is called Richarlison. I'm not picking Richarlison, come on. And the only obvious option for me was Alvarez up until for now. Maybe if I wildcard and I want to do some shenanigans, I will talk about it in my selection video if I opt for wildcard. But for now, a game against West Ham and after that a Forest game at home, I believe Alvarez is going to play a very, very good football. Even if Haaland is benched at some point and he's rested for some games, maybe in Champions League, I believe Alvarez will replace him, and regardless Alvarez will play. And I need Alvarez in my side, especially for the next two fixtures, because they're going to get a lot of goals, Manchester City, and I need more players than Haaland, and Alvarez is the best option in my opinion. He's playing as a second striker, he's playing as a KDB role and a little bit of a Haaland role, so he is very, very good. When Haaland is making defenders follow him, Alvarez is joining his position and he's receiving the ball and he's scoring goals. It's a very good performance from Alvarez so far. He's having a lot of shots, and I believe going for Alvarez is going to be the right decision. Even if he's rotated and he's a rotation risk, I will find someone else that I can transfer him for. I have the money. Watkins is an option after 2 game weeks. Maybe Isokur Wilson will become options. Maybe Højlund will become an option. God forgive if he is an option at some point at all. But yeah, 6.7 is a good pivot point where I can go up and down quite easily. So yeah, Alvarez staying here, and the third guy right now is Archer. He's going to be the starter for Sheffield United. I don't see him as a risk. He's going to rise in price when he already delivered. An easier fixture, I can rely on him if there are some shenanigans in my side and I don't have enough players and I don't want to take some hits. Even in harder fixture, Archer is going to perform up to par, at least for some of the players that I want to bring in. So yeah, Archer is staying in the side. I believe this wildcard team is good overall. You have several players that you're missing. A Liverpool player that you need after game week 8 for sure. An Aston Villa player that you're missing, and maybe a Newcastle defender. But until game week 8 and after game week 8, there are 4 game weeks. So you can easily use just the 4 transfers and just transform the team. Remove Chilwell, Sterling, and most probably Alvarez, or let's say even Saka or Maddison or Son, whoever you like, and just bring in Salah, Schär, and Diaby, and you'll be Gucci, so you'll be playing a very strong side after game week 8. So a wild card now doesn't look so ridiculous anymore, and I'm just shutting down the fires if I do that, because I have Pickford, who I don't like. I have a little bit of a shaky midfield, which I don't like. I have Jackson, who I don't like. I need Archer to fill that 14th spot on my bench, basically. So I need a little bit of a freshening up my squad, because they're not performing up to par, and those players are for now the best players in my opinion that are performing. I'm omitting Diaby, who is a very solid guy right now, but you cannot have them all, as I already established that. But those 15 players are very, very solid, and I believe that if you click the wildcard button, you can afford them all, and you'll be very happy when owning them. If you enjoy such type of content, as already said previous in the video, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, run down the comment section if you want to discuss something. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out to tinker if I'm going to wildcard or not, and be prepared to see a team selection video midweek, and you'll see my decision there. But for now, guys, I will be seeing you next time. Bye!